Ryan, what time do you take your nap? Do you take a nap when you get home?
It's off and on. It's not like regular. Like
Oh,
it depends, right?
I
So
gotta take, I have, like, let's say if I did have to wake up tomorrow morning, I would have to take a nap like the day before. If not, I wake up so sluggish.
no, yeah. I mean, it's training. Don't try to do me. I'm like 20 something years into the like I used to have to, and then when now it's just like
He's
sometimes.
acclimated.
Yeah, I'm acclimated. Like
Well,
especially Fridays are weird.
you know what I noticed is that um, the older you get, the less you need the nap.
Yes,
I'm not
that's
calling you old.
no, but there is that. It does exist.
So what's the science behind that?
I don't know.
I'm
There's
not buying it.
right. There's just I'm just watching, right? I don't really know if you're just guessing, right? If you look at the people in your life, it seems like they get up earlier and earlier in the morning.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right, and then you're sleeping like early at night.
But what are they doing during the waking hours? They're not doing anything pressing.
Well, no, it's like you're watering the grass, right? And then and the next 10 years you're watering the sidewalk for whatever reason. Like somehow now that's a part of it.
They've triggered to the I don't give a shit phase. So there's just like nothing is stressing them out.
As long as I've been alive, I can remember my grandparents making like oatmeal or Cheerios in the morning, and it's like a 15-step process, but it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, who needs to put all these goji berries and nuts in these Cheerios? But they do it every morning.
They're not trying to impress anybody. They're just trying to get through. It's like, you know what? I've got to make oatmeal, take a crap, drink my prune juice. Somewhere in between there, I'm going to do some things and go to bed. So I'm going to make this oatmeal process or this Cheerios process.
Yeah.
20 minutes long, 30 minutes long.
But it is a funny thought that there's something in us biologically that clicks at a certain year. And then now all of a sudden, I'm a morning person. Like, you know what I mean? It's like young people have the luxury of being like, I'm not a morning person, man. I had a hard night. No old person. By 4:30, every old person is like, I've done 7 things, you know? Now what?
Why is that so true?
When I was working in bars, I'm still stuck in it. So I go to sleep late and I get up early. I pretty much 4 hours is good. I can work on 4 hours. And I don't take too many naps unless I did some crazy exercise or something.
No, it's like my ritual is I come home, I eat lunch, and then I pass out. Like every day. On the weekend, sometimes after a heavy breakfast, I also pass out.
But you know what's so ironic, and we're watching it happen before our eyes, Thomas, is that what she just described is the next superstar. Like, no, honestly, right? Like the Maui cookie lady sees it, I see it, and the TikTok numbers are going through the roof because Becky Mitch just saying straight to the, like, because everybody's trying to fake the funk. You know what I mean? Honestly, that's the value, Becky, is that everybody's trying to fake it, and you're just like, I eat and I pass out. Not even. That's like every day. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but you're a hit though, right?
That's what's relatable. No, that's honestly. So, but this is funny. Is like everyone's trying too hard to make it, to get the numbers. Becky's like 9 videos. I have hundreds of thousands of videos. It's like.
Wait, so I didn't see all your 9. Is that the format you do? Is just that kind of that scripted like. A
couple of the videos that I put like a lot of time and effort into, it's like 2,000, 3,000. The video that like really took off, the one that's like almost at 1 million, that one was pretty much just filming my day. This is the life of a morning radio DJ. I wake up, analyze the train wreck in the mirror, then try to withhold my vomit. I then wash my face, roll my eyes, drink the alcohol in the toner because I'm dead inside. Tone, have an existential crisis, change, moisturize, deodorize, hate myself. Then I wake my boyfriend up who fell asleep on the couch again. I grab my coffee. I head to work while I practice being normal in the car ride there. While I'm on my way there, I attempt to think about what kind of person I want to be for that day and for that show. I then take out my headphones and then I pretend to have a personality for 4 hours straight. Keyword pretend. Once the show is over, it's time for me to go over to my production studio where I edit promos, make commercials. Commercials are my favorite.
For a magical time.
I have another existential crisis and then I check to see if anybody's around and I start practicing my TikTok dances. After all that hard work, it's time for me to leave. I say goodbye to my boss, and then I get in the car, and then I drive home, take a really long-ass nap, wake up feeling like garbage because you are what you eat. And then it's time to head to my gig. I attempt to entertain the crowd, but realize my mom is right. I am a failure. The moment I most recently posted, I want to say it's like at 480 something, if not 490 something thousand. That's just views.
Right. That's the Maui cookie lady one?
Yeah, that's the one that I did at like 11 p.m.
Nice.
And I kind of slapped it together. This is the story about how I'm basically Dwayne The Rock Johnson's favorite cookie. You'll get it at the end. One day at work, I get a box from the most iconic woman in the world, the Maui cookie lady. I had talked about her on air a couple of shows prior, and needless to say, I was excited. It's shipped to the Sam and Ryan show. People are asking for cookies, but guess who's on the Sam and Ryan show? Me! She must have liked that shout out because then she posted this. She was naming a cookie after me, and I couldn't have been more excited. I even flew to Maui just to meet her. I got to try the cookie fresh out the oven. Is it the best cookie ever made? Yes. Am I biased? No. Her cookies are not only delicious, but they're gigantic, and it gained a lot of traction when one celebrity literally flew to Maui just to taste them, and that was none other than, that's right, Ludacris. And he made a video, and you'll never guess who he mentioned in the video.
On my bucket list, and it's all Dwayne Johnson's fault. Yes, The Rock, you are to blame for this.
So The Rock sent Ludacris to the Maui cookie lady, which means that The Rock must be following the Maui cookie lady, right? He is, which means he commented on a very specific video that happens to be my cookie. He said, "Good Lord," which means I am his favorite cookie. Thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk. But then the ones I put so much time and effort into, it's like 2,000, 3,000. So I don't know what the formula is.
She's like moonwalking into her success. Like she's everyone's sprinting forward to try to like beat the other people. She's like, I'm just gonna fall asleep and eat stuff, and then boom.
You know what I was telling Ryan though, or I was telling Sam and Ryan, is that I have a hard time with negative comments, and not even negative comments about me, just negative comments in general. I need to be able to like brush that off my shoulders. It still affects me. A year in, it still affects me.
I mean, the good news is you're just along with every single person in their 20s in the whole planet. So you're not weird, at least. That takes a little, you know what I mean? Right? Does it right, Thomas? It takes a little minute to kind of go, okay, I'm over that. But you gotta first be mad at everybody.
Yeah. But you actually do pretty well considering with all the abuse you take from Sam.
She's already
said it, not me. I didn't say that. We got it on record, but I didn't say it. You just find a way. You find how to deal for the most part. It's not perfect days, but
we're talking about Sam specifically still?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, let's make it about that.
It's his fault for not being late to our 5 o'clock shots.
I was late and I took a nap. I was all ready to go.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, I've already refilled my shot, so I'm good.
Yeah, I love it.
Keep pacing.
This is like, I don't know. I know it's not, you know, we got to watch it because we have to boost our immune system. And I don't know of like the amount of whiskey that I'm taking in is boosting my immune system.
Is that your second glass or what? That's pretty full. It's an impressive size.
It's like I'm not even counting because I just keep on refilling it to do something. So I don't know. I don't really know what number I'm on.
Oh my goodness.
And then we got Becky at the one drink maximum.
Hey,
this is apple juice.
Oh, okay. But wait, can you like? Did you bring that? What do you call it? The hard seltzer that we got.
I brought it. Oh, it's in the car, but I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Try it live.
I was gonna try it. I think I have the pineapple mango and the pomegranate blueberry. I might leave the blueberry for Milk because he likes blueberry flavored items.
Yeah.
Is that Truly?
It's like a Truly, but I guess it's a new brand from, I have no idea, but it's called Vizzy.
Yeah, that's right, Vizzy. How much? What is the alcohol content of? I don't know. I forgot
think it's 5%.
5.
Oh, not bad.
I can ask Milk to get it. Milk. Milk.
Milk, if you get it, you can have a sip.
Can you grab my purse?
It's like the biggest thing now, though. All those hard seltzers, and it's funny because they don't even tell you what alcohol is in it.
Thank you, Milk.
Okay, let's get a little.
There is a pineapple, mango, and a blueberry pomegranate.
Who's branding that? Who's that?
Vizzy. Who's
Busy? It's got to be with a bigger name.
But it's like vitamin C right now is all the rage because of the whole the COVIDs.
Do you guys have like weird reactions to alcohol, or like does anything weird happen to you?
Different alcohols, different things. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes like the tops of my feet get itchy.
That's the Asian.
And then sometimes my gums will get numb. That's how I know.
Gingivitis.
You sure?
No, that's not gingivitis.
Are you sure it's alcohol? Because that could be cocaine. I'm just saying. Commenting for a friend.
It only happens when I drink, so I know that it's a reaction to alcohol. This is the first weekend that they're launching it. You can get it at Safeway and Target. There's only 100 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and 2 grams of carbs. Like I watch my carbs, but
Like,
sparkling water, cane sugar, natural flavor, pineapple juice concentrate, citric acid, sodium citrate, and dried
Dried
acerola
ass.
cherry juice.
I'm sold.
If you
I'm
drink
sold.
White Claws or Trulies, it's sweeter, but it's not wine cooler. And I'm gonna pour it into my apple juice because I feel like that's gonna give it a nice
What was it? Pineapple and apple juice? Is that what?
pineapple and mango. There's this flavor that I tried.
With apple juice, you might have a whole lot of things going on in there. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Enjoy.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Thank you. It'll probably make my feet itchy. No, it's just like the tops of my feet too.
Oh, I understand. It's like a weird thing that just happens when you do the one. Yeah.
But the thing is so I have 2 siblings, right? And my brother doesn't drink, so I don't know how he reacts to alcohol. But my mom and I get really red. And out of the 3 of us, I look the least Asian, believe it or not. Like my brother and sister look real Japanese.
That's true.
They pull it a little bit more than I do. But my sister, who looks the most Japanese, she's like small and pale, and like she has like the black hair. She does not get red at all. It makes no sense.
Maybe some
Maybe
dabbling in other areas.
There's something, yeah. Well,
maybe she looked.
Have you done the
she
23andMe? Yeah.
She looked Japanese, but her blood is Portuguese. And I look more Portuguese. My blood is Japanese.
Interesting.
But you talk Portuguese.
That's for sure.
But yes. Yeah, well.
But yes.
But yes.
It's so funny when I met you at the store, Starbucks. I had no idea that you had all this personality in you.
I'm always nice to higher ups.
Right.
Well, I'm not even that connected to the store.
Oh,
so.
I know, but don't you think she might have been on her polite best behavior, right? Like when I met her too, she was just like, "Oh, I'm like, oh, hi, quiet Asian girl with glasses." That's like I didn't know anything about Becky, right? And then they go, "Oh yeah, we're thinking about throwing someone from the sales side or whatever onto the show." I'm like, "Oh, this again? Oh, this rich?"
Oh, this again?
I'm like, this rich like strategy of pulling someone across the way who does something totally not related sounds great just because they happen to be in company. You know, and it hadn't been working out, right? So I was just like, okay, oh great, shy Asian girl with glasses. Okay, you know, I only said hi to you like a couple times, like hi, new person in the you know, whatever.
Right.
I have no idea there was all this sass and attitude and superstardom behind it.
Deep in there. I bury it.
Yeah, but yeah. And they're like, no, she was on Rory's show. She was like, she's funny. I'm like, that girl, the shy girl who just goes. That's all I knew. I had a couple of these. That's all I knew.
Don't forget Ryan and Thomas. I was raised by a politician. I know how to turn it on and turn it off.
That's exactly right.
Got it.
No, okay. This is what I remember is that when Thomas came in, I think I only met you a couple of times, but the time I remember is that I want to say it was like my manager was like very much like, oh, Thomas is coming in. We got to make sure everything is clean. He's coming in with, I forget what her name was, but a Caucasian woman. And she was like the other manager or something like that. And they were like, oh, we need to be on our best behavior. So that's what I remember. We were warned that you were coming in, which is like, I don't think that's like out of the ordinary. I think that's normal, but.
Warned. That's out of the ordinary. Maybe just informed, but you guys were warned.
The best way to feel it was like I feel like I was warned, so I was like, okay, like all right, I got to be on my best behavior.
Okay, you guys should probably, since you guys both are Starbucks people, right now it's like a lot of criticism online is like baristas are like the lowest of the essential workers. Is that something you get behind, or you're like, nah, what are you talking about? Don't. I mean.
As being both a barista and a radio DJ, baristas deserve more praise than radio DJs do.
I have no problem. Saying that. But at the same time, right, I think our potential to be essential is huge.
No, it's funny because
it doesn't mean that just because you're in radio, you're automatically essential. I would agree with that too. I mean, it's like you have to kind of like put the work in, right?
Right.
Baristas and radio DJs have to do the same thing, especially the morning show. You have to kind of uplift people from where they're at. Like, you don't know what they're going to come in with, and you got to – but baristas have to do it face-to-face.
Yeah. I think it sounds like easy to like go along with, you know, when you're just sitting around talking to people and you're like, yeah, fuck baristas. What the hell? That's not essential. But if you really think about it, it's like do you really want to take away coffee from people right now? Like, I mean,
No.
if you can serve it like cleanly and take whatever smart adaptions to make sure it's clean, then fucking give the people their coffee right now. Like, don't fuck with that, right? Yeah. So it's like, it is essential, really. Like, I don't want to see us not on coffee right now, especially like Starbucks.
The one thing I've heard my siblings and I collectively miss is Starbucks coffee. We were all like addicted.
Well, even Starbucks employees miss it.
Yeah.
Even Starbucks employees can't get access to it, and they're used to getting 3 free drinks a day anytime they work. So, I mean, with limited open stores, and I mean, it's everybody.
It's
legal drug.
And just going to Starbucks, busting out your laptop. You know what I mean? You're in your own world, but you're still socializing a little bit, right?
I wrote about that in one of my papers. I think what was the concept of it? A culture. So I wrote it in my cultural communications class about the culture of literally like opening up your laptop at Starbucks and ordering your drink and working in that environment. I wrote like a 10-page paper on it because that's how significant it was to me.
No, it's weird. Like, you ever be at home and you're doing the same exact thing, like the same exact setup. You're at a table. There's a coffee that you made.
Doing it right now.
And then the textbook is open and you're working, and then you're like, you know what? I need to move to Starbucks and do this exact same thing, except for pay for the coffee. Pay twice for the coffee.
Starbucks becomes that white noise around you.
You need that white noise.
Yes.
Sometimes it is actually the noise of a white person saying hi to you, but that's part of it. That's part of it. Like, hey, what you reading? I was like, yeah, I got this thing, and it gives you a little bit of a break, and it's like weird, but how like valuable that is when they take it away from you, and you're like, what? I can't just sit in Starbucks and like sit there for way too long.
It's the white homeless person.
Yeah,
I mean, you were right. You nailed the white, but might as well nail the rest of it.
Yeah, no, seriously, the New Iwana one, especially where I used to live right next door.
Oh my God, that one got the homeless people. Our store had some homeless people too, but New Iwana, I've definitely seen more.
Oh, one of the moves now is to plug all the outlets, so that's been curbing the homeless issue. Nothing was more effective than coronavirus.
Thomas, what's your Starbucks order?
I'm a cold brew now. Cold brew, venti ice cold brew, light ice, light water, 2 pumps of vanilla. Used to do sugar free, now I'm just doing regular vanilla, and then a splash of the vanilla sweet cream.
Splash.
But then it's 50-50. Well, it's actually 30-70. I'll get the splash so turn it milky white, and I would just be. There's been a few times I've been like, "Can you guys remake this?" I know. Yeah, it's like ask for a splash, and this looks like it's churned butter. So.
Okay, I
can tell you the baristas are sweating. They're like, "Oh shit."
I just accidentally thought of a question of the day potentially. Okay, let me just try it out on you guys. Right?
Okay.
Okay, so what's the most opposite thing to the coronavirus? Like, the coronavirus is over here on this side of the spectrum. Death to all. Fucking shutdown. Bullshit. Economic fucking,
that just becomes what makes you the most happy?
I don't know. That's what the question is. The question is, what's the opposite of the coronavirus?
World peace.
Huh? Oh. World peace. Yeah.
So you said something about politician family, yeah?
Well, world peace might be overdoing it, right? Because that's like perfection. Like, coronavirus isn't so bad that the opposite is perfection, right? Like, see, honestly, you overshot. Like,
okay, I did.
But right. So, what's the exact opposite?
She's going on a pageant, trying to win a pageant here.
Like, it's got to be a lot of happiness, but like, what's the? I don't know. It made me.
I say family,
right? Something
because
like perfect. It's not perfect, but it's like, what's the opposite? Just to make your brain think, what is the opposite of coronavirus?
For some people, might be health, fitness.
Right. Becky might say it's like fucking, whatever, like udon.
I love udon.
Exactly. Like everyone's answer is different. Everyone doesn't have to be. It's not right. It's a chance to express yourself. What's the opposite of the coronavirus?
You remember in high school when you would wake up some mornings and be really excited for like an award ceremony or some kind of ceremony that you would be having.
Yeah.
And that feeling of waking up and feeling like excited for that. That I would say that's what it is.
I remember
because it still ends at some point.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like you go through to the event, you do it, and then it's over. Like,
and then it's over. It's like waking up and going to prom. It's like you're really excited, but then it's over.
Oh, dude. Oh my goodness.
Well,
that's a good feeling. Like, or whatever. Like for Thomas, it might be like the perfect wave. Like it's
wave.
just like you and like this like annoying set of like tourists surfing, and then they just paddle in right before like they're bored because it's good, and then like this killer sets just come in, and it's just you, and the sunset's coming in, and they're like, oh, I wish somebody was taping this. Where is everybody? And it's just perfect, and you can't ever. You tell people, and they're like, okay, whatever, Thomas, but you just know you had the best fucking wave.
Yeah. I think it's a good question. I think it just leaves it open for everybody to expand however they want.
Right. So
I think it might be a little I don't know if it's gonna be too hard, but you can be so creative with it because there's really no wrong answer.
Yeah, so maybe if we all three have our own version, and we're just kind of like, that kind of helps people see, I say like that. So if you say udon and then I say whatever, right? Like
say
right.
If not coronavirus, then, and that's the question.
Right. Like for me, like I don't know, like doing mushrooms on a beach with friends, might be my opposite of coronavirus.
As opposed to what? Not friends?
You're right. It just makes you think, what is the ultimate? Like, what's your happiness? Where do you go to? Like right now, because like Becky, like she can only take so much coronavirus, like, news or talk. So like, I'm thinking her mind, where does she go to? Like, I've had enough of this shit. Like, fuck, let's, you got to go somewhere else. And that's important right now. I really do believe it. Like, not everybody eats it like it's like I enjoy toxic waste breakfast or something. I can just eat it. But that's
why I asked the lieutenant governor. I was like, "What are you doing to stress relief? Because I'm worried about you. You can't be taking all this information consistently."
No, that's why I said, Becky, come up with a couple of light questions, because I knew I had all the medical ones. I was like, can you have some ones? I'm going to go to you just because I know that's needed. In fact, me and Tina are watching the news of him earlier that morning, and we're like, okay, let's watch that so we don't ask the same questions. And we're looking at him like, oh, shit, dude, he looks like he needs a nap and a hug. And,
right?
And then we got half an hour with him. I'm like, I'm trying to drain him dry like with more. But at the same time, I'm like, I know it's important. Like this half an hour comes and gone. And then like, so I don't want to waste his time either. So I want to ask him questions that only he can answer.
Right.
So I'm glad. I think it was a nice mix, but I knew we were like kind of like walking a tightrope, Like if it was off, he would have been like, "What the fuck, dude? I got to talk to the Senate, and you're fucking making me ask me."
And he got to be a little bit more his demeanor too.
So he reposted it today. Said like fun interview. Like that was his take on it. I think he needs that.
So apparently, Casey's girlfriend knows Lieutenant Governor for some reason. I guess there's some kind of connection, and she sent, I think, the photo of Sam and I when we did the interview in person to him. And he was like, oh, they were so fun. That was a fun interview.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think he enjoys our company.
Yeah. We can be the one people asking kind of silly, more human questions. I like that.
Yeah. I've met him a couple times in the past when I was working at different places. And so he's super down to earth. He just wants to keep it basic and real. And so, I mean, it makes sense that he enjoys talking to you guys, and you guys had a great interview with him. So that's just his nature.
I'm trying to figure out the word or like the way to describe his personality, which is very, there's a way that he gets his point across that's very brash. And it's not, I'm not saying mean, it's just the way that he gets it across. Like he's like, how many of your lieutenant governors know this shit?
And hydroxychloroquine, which has a hydroxy bond on it. So it's another slight biochemical variant. See? Not all your LGs know this shit, okay? So, all right.
Like that, it's very brash.
It's almost East Coast, right?
But it hits you, and I was saying, it's very similar, like to the way that Tony Robbins talks to his people.
Right.
It's just very like aggressive, but it works for some reason.
Well, I think like especially when you're a leader, right? There's got to be a little bit of, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. There's got to be a little bit. It's got to be a little bit. If it's too much, you're an asshole. But if it's not enough, you're like, dude, this the fuck. You're scaring us. What the fuck is?
You got no balls,
Right. So,
but
Go ahead,
You
Tom.
want people to take him seriously. He's got a message, and
Right.
if anybody, he's a subject matter expert. So he has to kind of command the room, right? So there has to be a degree of that.
Well, it's like there's so many politicians out there who are like saying whatever their sponsors are paying them to say. So like for a guy to come out and go like, look, I'm just going to try my best to tell you the straight data. What Caldwell did the other day was stupid. You know, you're just calling it like it is. It's like, that was truly stupid. It flew in the face of everything we're trying to do. I mean, so it's like, you know, I don't know. It just like, it scratches the itch on the top of my feet. It just gets it. It's like, I'm like, that's it. You get it. That's exactly. It's just, thank you. Thank you. I feel like nobody understands this weird reaction I'm having. But he's like, oh, no, I get it. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, damn. You know,
but it's also very complicated because they get criticized for being very brash. Because my dad was very similar in that sense. He wouldn't necessarily use cuss words, but he was not afraid to say whatever the hell he wanted to say.
Right.
And he wasn't afraid to criticize if he needed to.
Right.
But he kind of got criticized for being that way. And like when you would see pictures of him in the paper, it was always like he always looked like upset about something. Well, but that man only has two moods, which is very angry, and that's rare, or just like content and completely fine. Like, he's really not an angry person.
Right. See, like,
but they made him seem that way. It was very interesting.
See, like, I mean, we're watching it happen right now, and we're not talking about politics, Becky. We're just talking about your dad and humans. So just don't think of it. I know when you think we're talking politics now, but like Bernie Sanders seems like a good guy. He seems like he seems like everybody's uncle, and he really does have some good ideas. I have good ideas, guys. But the reality is that the people who own the country and who pay for it are like, oh shit, the truth. Oh shit, this guy's just gonna like be honest and like stick to his guns. He's not gonna shut up and just take the money and say what we want to say. Where Joe Biden will probably do that. That's just the reality.
Very similar in the way he was very brash as well in his point.
He is, but I mean, it's like that. It's unfortunate because that's the guy who we need. And like Josh Green, he's lieutenant governor. He should be. Unfortunately, I want him to have more authority and more power in this. But right now, you know what I mean? It's like Caldwell and Ige, it's like straight up. He's like, hey guys, Caldwell's like live. I'm like, is this real life? Everybody's sitting at home. And then, but construction, well, I can't really.
Oh, so bad.
It's so bad.
So bad.
Horrible.
When Lee Cataluna calls you out, it's over.
Good point.
I mean? Like, it's all rumors until Lee Cataluna writes some shit and goes like, and she said it's the worst move of Caldwell's already like filled with mistakes career.
Oh, 100%.
It's so bad.
So lucky he's getting termed out because like that would be so bad if he ever tried to get like reelected.
Yeah, but he does.
He wouldn't get reelected.
Well, it's very like Hunger Games in the sense that he's just standing in front of the TV and just like, now guys, come on, social distancing. And he's just sitting there is like, and then meanwhile, come on, construction, let's go. While everybody's on lockdown, like, let's go, let's do the construction right now when nobody's looking. What? You found a bone? Shit.
I'm not sure wherever in his right mind did he come up when he was thinking, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. I think this is going to work. I'm going to announce this.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, where in your mind were you like, great idea? No foul like intent here.
No, and then like there was a couple days ago, there was this article, and there's many articles that saying like, oh my God, while we were like, it was like, I guess last week Friday, while the whole world was shutting down and this and that, Mayor Caldwell and his constituents were approving a 3% pay increase for him and his staff. Now it turns out that he ended up rejecting it, and he came out with a speech I think it was this morning or yesterday. He's like, hey, now is not the time. Now is not the time. But what? Wait,
but it was the time.
It was last week. Like, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, that didn't go over well. Did that not go over well? Okay. Okay. Let's schedule another one, and then and then I'll say that it's not the time.
That he sits on the board of I want to say Bank of Hawaii or something like that, but he sits on a pretty high board where he makes more money sitting on that board than he does as mayor, because as a politician, you really don't make that much money.
Of course. It's never, they don't make it for the salary. Like, it's kind of like radio. If you're only relying on your salary, it's not a good plan.
I almost thought about going back to Starbucks, but I was like, oh, I don't want to go back down that road again.
Just like
I'm going to sit quietly here.
I was like, oh, I can't go back down this road. Both Starbucks, I did not have great experiences. Better at Mililani because both people who were higher up than me were both looking out for my best interest, if that makes sense. But then even at that Mililani Starbucks, I had one girl who just didn't like me and would just always call out something I was doing wrong.
Let's use a first name, first initial.
I don't remember the girl's name. Actually, I do remember now that I go back to that traumatic memory.
You know what? Say the name, and then I won't post this till 11 tonight, and then that bitch can't get back to your house till like 5:01.
She knows who she is. She knows who she is.
She knows. She's out there. She knows who she is.
Oh, she knows who she is, and she was so rude and terrible to me. They know exactly who they are. All the people who did me wrong knows exactly who they are. I don't even need to breathe them life by saying
The one thing I'll say a little bit about is Starbucks culture. We have such a strong cultural approach to things that we do create some beast of people. It sounds like Becky is
good and bad.
Yeah, good and bad.
Good and bad. Yeah.
Well, I've come to accept that I was not, and I still am not the most likable. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and it just so happened to be I was not these people's particular cups of teas. I've come to that realization.
Wait, can you I don't know, Thomas, what your relationship with Starbucks is, but can I ask this, Becky? Can you give me an honest answer of, because I know you were there when the president of Starbucks was like, okay, I want everybody to now talk to their customers about race.
Oh,
were you there? And then you guys,
yes.
you actually shut down the stores for one day to have a meeting. I remember because I went there and it said we're having a meeting about race and we'll get back to you tomorrow.
Yes.
What the hell's happening?
Two separate things. So
okay, go ahead.
There was the meeting. There was the thing about talking about race, approaching it, writing on cups, and engaging conversation. And then there was the thing that went down where we had to shut down our stores and train everybody how not to be discriminatory.
Oh,
right?
That's right. They're two separate things.
Unconscious, discrimination or whatever.
Right. Well, let's talk about the first one, because I remember the second one started because people got kicked out in a store in the mainland. Hawaii had nothing to do with it. You just had to follow suit. But the first one was literally the president was like, I want you all from now on, I want you to say, hey, venti or, tall. Venti, okay, would you like to talk about race? What was that whole thing? I forget how it went down. But what were you
you there for that, Becky?
I don't remember the first half. I remember shutting down the store and doing that training.
The training.
And all of us being looking around the room, and all of us are of mixed race and being
it was
no shit. Of course, Hawaii had to go through the training, but I'm sure Hawaii Starbucks people might no shit. Of course, we don't have to.
I gotta tell you, we did not take it seriously.
Right.
We did it, and we were there, and we filled out the pamphlets, but it was more almost like a store bonding than it was anything else.
No, first of all, in Hawaii, sometimes we're all so dark.
He's laughing, but it's true.
Thomas, you can't tell if he's black or not. You can't tell. In Hawaii, we can't take racism seriously because we don't even know what race anybody is. Well, are you black?
They were trying to put a meeting together for training for 300 or 280,000 employees across U.S. business. So the format of it was, they worked with a company to put that together. But then I think we couldn't find relatedness out of the training in our local market because the issues we were dealing with were different than what they were presenting in the training. So I think, to Becky's point, a lot of the trainings ended up being hey, let's bring some food, let's get together, let's talk stories. So, but then the company soon realized that, and so Starbucks actually started to do follow-up training to evolve it and make it more specific to the markets. So, eventually it got to a healthier, better place, but it's just, at the end of the day, it just becomes the burden of the employees, baristas, managers, to try to diffuse every situation respectfully without crossing borders, because nowadays everything gets you in trouble. So
yeah, but you had
the The training should have been, how the fuck do you deal with someone who says there's a lizard in their drink? That's what the training should have been. And let me tell you, sis was not happy I called her out on the radio. She was not happy.
That was hilarious. Talk about that. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
She reached out to one of the other jocks to tell me that she was not, or her and her husband were not happy with how
so
I
quick
talked about that
recap,
situation.
though. Give the recap. So what happened?
So like a few months back, right? I have to burp. A few months back, excuse me.
It's okay. We're taking shots.
A few months back, right? The woman claimed that she had found a lizard, or her husband had found a lizard in his drink. It was like a venti cold brew. The entire drink was gone. And that like they were disgusted. He tried throwing it up. And then originally she came out and posted this, I believe on Stolen Stuff Hawaii. She posted saying, we want our money back. We want to get money for this. How can we, right? Okay. So her first initial reaction, which by the way, I still have screenshots somewhere. I want you to know. Her first initial reaction was, I want money out of this. That was her first, and then she retracted it and says, I just want the employees and I just want Starbucks to do better. And that's what didn't sit well with me, was I was like, you can't retract something like that. And you know what I mean? Like that just makes you more
disingenuous. Right.
My relationship with Starbucks, so I'm not going to weigh in too heavily on this, but
I can.
But I will say the probability of getting a lizard in your drink from the beginning of production to the end of production, all transparency, you can see through the cup with a clear lid, and missing something like a lizard. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, baristas actually really care about the drinks they make. Like they stray from the recipe to make it look cooler, right? So the probability of us missing an entire lizard.
That's what I said. Is I was like, I used to be a barista. I've done the movements to know that would be so hard. But okay, so sis was pressed and she came after me. But here's the interesting part, Thomas. I'm not difficult to find. She knew exactly what my name was. She knows what show I was on, but she didn't come to me. She came to somebody that I knew to tell me, which even more made me think it was more sketchy. Because why would you not just come? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would you not just come to me and tell me? Why'd you have to go to somebody else to tell me? It just...
Well, sometimes you want to practice your vent, right? This is what I'm going to say. What you think? You're going to try it out first, right? It is funny to think that even though it is low percentage, to think that maybe the 1% chance it did happen, and you're watching this gecko, and this person's doing the regular routine, and then like there's the Mission Impossible soundtrack. Dun, 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 dun.
It just can't happen. It just can't happen. I'm telling you.
Just makes it in. She turns around. It goes in right when she puts the cap on. It's like, I don't know. It's like a cartoon reality. The only way I can picture it, it has to be cartoon. It can't be like real life.
Yeah, it's all cartoon right there. Nice creative imagination.
I hope she's well.
Yeah. Why did you look exactly like Kermit the Frog just then?
I do because I don't want sis coming after me again, but I just thought I'd share what happened after that situation.
Well, I was with the lady who runs the market in Hawaii for Starbucks, and she was with me when she got that call.
Oh, wow.
She went to action. She took action quick. She got in touch with the lady and tried to resolve it. But
honestly, couldn't you have pulled the camera footage? There's guaranteed camera footage.
It wouldn't. The cameras wouldn't have followed every step of the way on the drink.
Oh, okay. Is that just? I mean, it's just good to check to see. I mean, it would have been.
Nice. But Ryan, the sleeves are individually wrapped. They go in a box. They go into a sleeve holder and then pulled off from the plastic. They're sitting upside down there. The only way it could have happened is if it fell into the drink at the top, which I believe the lizard was found at the bottom.
It was.
And as if I'm a barista, I'm lidding this drink. I actually watched the cup. I'm going to watch this cup because it's hard to get the lid on there without knocking it over. You have to actually watch how you're lidding it.
Right.
And so if you're doing all of that, you're going to see a lizard.
But if it's at the bottom by then, like I'm just trying to figure out how did you get to the bottom, lizard?
Maybe he was free diving. Maybe he wanted to see if he could hold his breath.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the part. It's like, okay, wait a minute, right? Like when you watch Tiger King, you're like, okay, why did it say in the will upon death or disappearance, and the disappearance is intentional?
That's hilarious.
Carol. And it's a great
Disappearance.
or disappearance, and then you signed it, Carol Baskins. Why?
Well,
I would have had questions.
I'm not ruling out the fact that maybe somebody had it out for sis and somebody else put it in her drink. Or I'm not ruling out that she didn't put it in her drink. I'm not ruling it out.
I love that your second attempt to make it better is worse.
Nice. Yeah.
I can see sis having mortal enemies, and that's
I'm with Ryan on this one.
way to look at it. You know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, she could have people, a whole group of people want out to murder her. But okay, you know what? I could consider.
That is not what I meant.
or maybe the lizard is here with Justin Bieber and poured it into the drink accidentally. We don't know.
We don't know.
I'm
not ruling anything out.
We could be part lizard people, folks. It is a conspiracy.
So who's believing that Sam's having technical difficulties?
No, I think that was just his way of saying he started drinking earlier, because there's no way.
Oh.
Right?
I said, how about now? You joining us? He said, not yet. Technical issues. I said, I call bluff.
Well, folks, you know what? Hey, it's this was a good run. We'll catch him later on. Becky, what are you doing this whole weekend? I mean, I know it's your birthday weekend, but
last weekend was my birthday weekend.
Oh, right. I thought.
You know what you should do? You should drive around at 11:01 tonight and see what happens, and film it.
I honestly want to see someone do that. Like, how many people will be watching that live feed?
Why are we volunteering me?
That'd be like O.J. Simpson when he was running on the freeway.
Honestly, right? It's like,
you know, O.J. wrote a book called "If I Did It."
Really?
And then somebody bought, excuse me, his book rights. So they put the "if" really tiny within the I.
No, it was the people who bought the rights. It wasn't, they didn't buy the rights. The court appointed the Goldman family, the murdered family. The judge appointed them the rights to the book. The Goldman people told their lawyers, I want to change the name to "If I Did It." And then they changed it from the big font from "if" to small. So it just looks like I did it. And it's like, that was the Goldman.
Crazy.
I can't believe he wrote a book like that. That is so funny. Oh
my goodness. Like,
well,
the whole book, yeah, like, this is how I would have done it, commenting for a friend.
Pretty much.
For a friend.
Isn't
All
it?
right, folks, I'm going to go eat some cookies.
Oh.
No longer am I smoking, but Tina has made me some edibles, so I'm going to.
I'm going to eat some Doritos.
Nice.
Non-weed related.
Nice.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.